Today, we've got 4 must-see AI stories. Welcome to Useful AI Hacks. I'm Jason James. Today, I'll break down the latest with Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro and Deep Search launch, Microsoft's on-device Copilot vision upgrades, AWS's upcoming AI Agent Marketplace with Anthropic, and NVIDIA's lightning-fast FourCastNet 3 weather model. Subscribe and click the bell now to stay ahead with our daily 11 a.m. updates and AI insights. Let's get started. Google is supercharging search with Gemini 2.5 Pro and Deep Search, plus AI-powered calling that can book your salon appointment or check your favorite cafe's menu without you lifting a finger.
I learned that today is the start of Gemini season. I'm not really sure what the big deal is. Every day is Gemini season here at Google. Normally, you wouldn't have heard much from us in the weeks leading up to I/O. That's because we'd be saving our best models for this stage. But in our Gemini era, we're just as likely to ship our most intelligent model on a random Tuesday in March, or a really cool breakthrough like Alpha Evolve just a week before. We want to get our best models into your hands and our products ASAP. And so we are shipping faster than ever. We have announced over a dozen models and research breakthroughs and released over 20 major AI products and features, all since the last I/O. There's a hard trade-off between price and performance. Yet over and over, we've been able to deliver the best models at the most effective price point. Not only is Google leading this parade of frontier, we've fundamentally shifted the frontier itself. The result, more intelligence available for everyone, everywhere. And the world is responding and adopting AI faster than ever before.
Coming up next, Microsoft's Copilot Vision on Windows 11 now runs entirely offline with Describe Image, narrating charts and photos, while Desktop Share lets it see your workspace to offer contextual tips.
Hello, I am Chris Menard. Welcome to the live stream we're doing today on Microsoft M365 Copilot. I'm a Microsoft MVP. In the background, you don't see him, is my good friend Christian running everything for me. We're going to run through some of the new features in Copilot. Feel free to ask questions in the chat box anytime you want to. Christian is watching the chat box and he'll pop your questions up on the screen. Let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to share my screen. And we are going to actually start off with Microsoft Outlook. Just so you know, I am in the new version of Outlook and I've increase my resolution, so hopefully you see this. So something that's not new that I want to cover first is I'm going to open up this email that Carol Wilson sent me. And in case you're wondering, I'm Carol Wilson, so I sent myself an email with this account. So not new, but Outlook and Copilot have always been able to summarize emails. That is nothing new. And also, if you're on Outlook Classic Desktop, the summarize email feature is here also. Now, Carol sent me 2 attachments. And if you notice, this part is new. I can now summarize attachments. You can summarize Word documents, you can summarize PowerPoint files, and you can also summarize PDF files. This happens to be 2 PDFs. Amazon is publicly traded, so I just went and grabbed those from their website. The 2023 annual report and the 2024 annual report. I can either summarize them right here at the top, or you can come to one of the files and actually summarize it right here also. So it doesn't matter where you pick to summarize. I'll go ahead and just use this one at the top. I'm going to summarize the 2024 annual report. Click it. Now, this may take 45 or 50 seconds, so I may let this run and pop over to something else, but let's just give it a few seconds and see what happens. This will be interesting to see how fast it does this. I will tell you that this PDF file, I went and looked, is 91 or 92 pages. So this is a great feature. Imagine having to pop into a meeting, you get an email from someone, they say, hey, here are the files we're going to use. You don't have time to read through 90 pages, but you can definitely summarize them, look through the summary. I'm going to let that run because I don't want to sit here and wait on that. Let's pop over to Excel and I'll pop right back in here in just 1 second. So, oh, I think it was actually popping up. There, never fails. So I'm back in Outlook, just to be clear. It is telling me the name of the report. It's breaking out some financial performance because it was an annual report. I'm expecting this. And it goes in through these different sections. It looks like it's using headings in here. So I do not mind reading through this, but I don't have time to read through the 91-page PDF file. So that is a new feature in Outlook. I'm going to close this email. I'm going to stay in Outlook now just for a second. Another new feature in Outlook, fairly new anyway. Carol and I have been emailing back and forth. I added Christian. She emailed me and Christian on here. I am looking at this and I decided, you know what, we probably need to have a meeting about this. I can come over here to the more actions. Whether you've been using Outlook Desktop, New Outlook, Outlook on the web, you've always been able to create a meeting from emails. That is not new. What is new is you can now create emails with Copilot. So there's the reply to by meetings. The difference is if I schedule this with Copilot, Copilot would run through the entire email thread. It'll summarize the email thread. It puts everyone up here on the line. Christian went optional because he was actually a CC on that email. And it includes the initial email. There's the agenda. Came up with an agenda on its own. Came up with a summary. If you like what you see that Copilot did, you would click on Insert. It puts it into the body of the email. And then from here, it's just a matter of scheduling a date, scheduling a time. Do you want it to be a Teams meeting? Do you want it to be an in-person meeting event? You got that feature also right here. So that is that feature there. I'm going to close out of this right there and discard that. There you go. One other new feature that I happened to catch, and this was just this weekend, if you click on Copilot, I'm going to chat with Copilot. Nothing new here, chatting with Copilot while you're in Outlook. This schedule here, I've been waiting for this to show up. Schedule time to meet with, click on it, go to people, and I'm going to pick Christian. And then I can go on to tell it what I want to schedule this about and send that off right there. So that is the feature where you can schedule meetings with people. And it found a date and time. I can hit send. I can go to view and see it inside the meeting invite if I want to. All right, let me get out of here and pop over to Microsoft Teams. Before I do, I'm going to stop sharing just for a second to see if we have any questions or comments. Christian, all good? All right, very good. Next item is Microsoft Excel, one of my absolute favorite applications. I'm in Excel all the time. I love this feature. Copilot has always been able to grab your data. Ideally, it's in a table, but you can use a range now, and you can ask questions. You can do sorting. You can do conditional formatting. You can do filtering. You can create pivot tables. You can create pivot charts. A lot of different features in Copilot in Excel. Now, Copilot in Excel will create Excel files from scratch. So let's dive into this. All right, I'm going to create a blank workbook. When I create a blank workbook, here's what's different already. It says start with Copilot. I love that it actually is giving me suggestions down below here, and you can sit here and go through here. I'm not going to sit here and read all those to you, but let's say that since I'm in training, I'm involved in training new hires. I'm going to tell it to create a new hire worksheet. Now, just to save time, I'm not going to go into the detail. This is my prompt box right here where I just create a new hire worksheet. I would tell it in detail if there are specific fields that I want, but I'm just going to leave it right here for now. And I'm going to send it off and watch how fast Copilot does this. And the second thing I want you to pick up is that it gives me sample data, which I love. It is going to make it a table. It is coming up with these fields right here. And it is filling it in with sample data right here. I've just noticed that Copilot happens to just be a lot faster than it used to. So if I want to, I can say, nope, I don't want to include the sample data, or I can check it again and leave that in there. It's on and off. Now, if you like, by the way, column I, the status, it is automatically using conditional formatting. Active versus pending is green versus yellow. I can tell that that is conditional formatting. What I encourage you to do is, if you don't like everything that it did, like I like almost everything, instead of clicking on keep it, it's letting you know you can keep making changes here. So here's a change I want. I'm looking at that column for full name. But I want to see first name and last name in separate columns. If you make a typo in Copilot, as long as it's not too far off, just leave it, don't fix it. It'll figure it out. And again, it is the speed with which width it does this at. Full name, first name, last name. I'm looking at column B, column C, column D, and there you go. I'm going to add 2 more columns. Let's say that when our new hires come on board, they are issued some equipment, and the equipment they're issued is a laptop computer. And the laptop computer is from Microsoft, Dell, or HP. I'm making up stuff right here. And let's see if it can get this one correct. So it keeps everything I had before. And I also like that it threw it in before the notes column, which was L, now it's M. And there is your equipment right here. You can always go back and see your previous one. So if I say, oh, you know what, I don't care about the equipment, I really like this one, I could hit keep it here, but I'm going to stay right here and select keep it. And it wants me to save it to OneDrive, and I'm not going to save it to OneDrive right now just to save time. But there is Excel and Copilot creating new Excel files for you. Christian, we still good, I believe, correct? So I'll just keep on sharing and keep on going. Let me pop over into Copilot Chat. Everyone has Copilot Chat, just to be clear. What I have been doing is Microsoft 365 Copilot. Microsoft 365 Copilot requires a license in addition to your M365 subscription. So you got your M365 subscription, Excel, Word, Outlook, all that. If you want the Copilot that I've been using, you have this one. But here's the free one. I'm going to go pop over here. Before I do something with the free one, which is called Web, another new M365 Copilot feature is called the Researcher. So here's Researcher up here. And when you go to Researcher, just to show you what I did here, I'm not going to do this one live, but I typed in before this live stream started, give me a detailed report on Microsoft. You can ask for any company you want to. Researcher pops up and asks me, okay, I can provide this for you. And then it comes in here with 3 different bullets asking me exactly what it is you want. And one of the options was, do you want a long form document, a summary, or a structured report? And I said, make it a structured report with headers, with sections. Sorry, make it a structured report with section. One thing you need to know about Researcher. Researcher takes anywhere between 8 minutes to 25 minutes in my testing with Researcher. And the reason is it's not doing just quick Copilot prompts and answers. It is flat out doing a full-blown detailed report. It did all of this. I'm not going to sit here and read through everything for you, but it actually covers products and services. You can just keep seeing, if I keep scrolling, how long this is. It came up with this financial stuff here, and it's doing this based on two things. It is doing this based on public information that it finds, and I can guarantee it's going to look at their website for their financial data, which is available to everyone. But it's also creating this report based on any internal data that we have. So if Christian and I had some reports internally about Microsoft that we had created, it would use those. If it had emails that we had sent back and forth, it would use those. I'm just going to go all the way down here to the bottom just to show you how long this is. And there you go. That is there are the sources it used. If you notice, this is why Researcher takes a long time, but it is a great feature right there. All right, before I do anything free, let me stop sharing just for a second. Pop back over here and check for Q&A. No questions at all. All right, here we go. We're going to head, before I do this next one, which is free, everyone can do what I'm about to do. I will be speaking, if you like my teaching style, I'll be speaking at the EA Ignite conference in November, which is in Nashville. If you are an administrative professional, this is a great conference for you. I feel like I've been speaking at it now for 2 or 3 years. So we're in Nashville in November. All right. Let's move over to Copilot chat. Everyone can do this. So let me share. All right, so I'm going to go click on web. And in case you're wondering, Chris, who all has this Copilot chat? If you have a Microsoft 365 license and you work at a company, you're going to have Copilot chat. Now, I have work and web at the top. If you have work and web, that means you have an M365 subscription like I've been using. But if you don't see work and web, you can still do exactly what I'm about to do. You just aren't going to see work and web, but you will have this right here. So what do you want to ask Copilot about? I want Copilot to create a MS Teams outline for a training class. You can ask it if anything you want to. I'm just picking on something I know, which is computer training. You could ask it for a SOP for something. And there we go. And then it continues on. One interesting thing about doing this is after it returns these results, and this is major, because everyone's got this. If you're saying, oh, I don't like that word that they used, or I want to tweak this, I can definitely, absolutely come in here and copy this response and go put it anywhere I want to, an email, chat, I can do whatever I want to. But if I want to tweak something, you just can't come in here and say, I'm going to come in here and start typing. It won't work. Or I'm going to come in here and delete something. It will not work. What you have to do, and this, a lot of people don't understand what this is you need to come here to edit in pages. When I click this, what you see right here, and let's just remember we have pre-class preparation, we'll move over to the left, and then I'll be in the edit mode for this. I'm going to click on this, edit in pages, then edit in pages again. It moved over to the left. There's my pre-class preparation. Now is when I come in here and I can start changing information right here. So I can put in my name. I'm not going to fill in all that stuff. If I say, okay, I don't like, we're not going to do a Q&A here, I can delete that. There you go. This is when you come in here and you do edit. The other advantage of being in this pages view right here, not only can you add and remove information, I could come and share this, and I could share this with any one of my coworkers at my company. And I can hit here, you can have access to this page, or you can have access to this component. I can also go and throw this into MS Word right here, just so you know that. I'm going to stop. I'm going to close pages. Here's close. It goes back here, and there you go right there. And by the way, it came in here to said, hey, I can create a downloadable version if you need to. So yes, if I wanted this in Word or PDF, I would say create a Word document or create a PDF, in case you're wondering about that. We stop sharing. I think we have a question in the chat box. Oh, have you reached any limits even with the paid version like length or chaff or document sizes? I have not, but I will tell you that that researcher, that is a great question. That researcher that I was using, Microsoft says there is a limit and is 25 times per month per user. So once I've used researcher 25 times over the billing cycle or whatever the month is, whenever your month is, I cannot use it anymore. I cannot pay to use it more. I've got to wait till the next month starts that I can use it 25 times again. But and concerning using Copilot to summarize files, and I'll show you that real quick. Copilot can summarize a file. They've just recently changed this, and I believe the amount of word pages or word characters, I don't know, it's almost like a 200-page Word document it can summarize. It used to be a lot less than that. So they do keep making improvements to the length and the file size that you can do. Another freebie for you. Here you go. Everyone can, when I say freebie, everyone can do this. Let me share again. Great question, by the way. Let me share my screen. I'm going back to Copilot Chat. In case you're wondering, it does remember what you've done over here. So, and one more quick one. Here you go. Let's say someone tells me that their fixed cost is $50,000. We sell an item for $100. And our variable cost is $40. Fixed cost is $40,000. What is our break even? I mean, you can ask Copilot anything. And one thing I like about Copilot, let's see if it figures this out. It should be 60 divided into 40,000. Yes, it's even telling you exactly, the correct formula. 40,000 divided by the $60 is we need to sell 667 units. I'm rounding there. So you can ask Copilot for anything right here. So, all right, here's another freebie. And here's another main point. If you continue to ask Copilot information about something, for example, I asked Copilot to create that Microsoft Teams outline. Well, I could have told Copilot to tweak it or add more or make sure you covered this in chat, and it would have continued to do it. When you change threads, like I'm not talking about break even, I'm not talking about Teams outline anymore, always start a new chat. So I'm gonna click on a new chat, and here you go right here. I'm still using the Copilot free that everyone has. You can always add files with this plus sign. It says add content and agents. But what is new is I'm going to tell it to compare these two files. And the two files, if you recall, I had those two Amazon annual reports that I downloaded. Click on here. I'm going to hit add content. Let's see if I can't go and upload. Yes, you can upload. And I'm going to go here. Highlighted them both. Hit open. It added both files, and it's telling me I have two. And then I'm going to send this off. So our prompt was compare these two files. We uploaded two files. I believe 5 files is the max here. I know you can do 5 files in OneDrive if you have them in OneDrive, but there you go. Look how nice this is. And I'll always say this, and I'll say this in my November event, go and open up one of those files and check a few of these numbers. Like, just don't assume that Copilot gave you the right numbers. I would open up the 2024 report and make sure I see this 638 billion as total revenue, and then I would check probably operating income. But also, I didn't ask for it, but it gave me the year-over-year analysis change for these, which is pretty good. All right, keep on moving. Let me take a look real quick at my Copilot researcher. Oh, I got a question. I just showed you how to edit pages. I actually haven't done that one yet. Let me do the question first. How does Copilot import the information for Excel spreadsheets? If you could give me a little bit more, is that when I was over here doing something new? Is that, if that's what you're asking? Just so you know this, I started off by going to File, New, and it gave me that prompt box. I'll do it again. File, blank, there's the prompt box. But what happens if you're in an existing file and you add a new worksheet and you say, hey, there's no prompt box? You just simply click on the Copilot icon and you tell it to create a customized table. And then you can go again with a completely different spreadsheet if you want to right here. All right. Over in Microsoft Word, let's go pull up Word. It is not new, but I have just simply a 2-page social media policy that I created from scratch. So what is not new is that it summarizes your document up here at the top. But what is new is the different summary options you have. So by default, for me, it is doing a standard summary, but I'm going to hit brief, and it runs through here and just gives me something really brief. If I click it again, you just saw standard. I'm going to go to detailed and watch this. I love this one. There is a detailed. I love that it put in some type of headings involved in here. It is still referencing where it got the information. So if I click here, I jump here in the file. So now with your summary, you've got 3 different summary options, and I'm in the Word desktop, just to be clear where I'm at right now. I'm in the Word desktop. Over in Microsoft Word on the web, I'm still going, look, it's automatically summarizing this. I hit view more. I still got the exact same 3 options I have. We now have an audio overview in order to give you a pod-like discussion with digital voices, and it's pulling it from this document. This is brand new. I'll be honest, I just saw this morning, so I haven't played with it. So I'm not going to click on it, but I'm like, oh, that's new. So right there you have this audio overview right there. Three options, we just discussed this. Oh, another new feature, the stop prompt. This is a great one. Let me pull up Excel and already have this set up. Let me pull up an existing file. So here is an existing file that I have. Edit anyway. All right, I'm gonna go, you don't wanna see me type, so let me just go, and I've showed this before in Excel, it's a great feature. It says, hey, pull out the country. I'm over here, and here's the issue with this. I don't care about column A. Over here in column B, I've got cities and states, but I've also got cities in other countries. All the cities in the US have a 2-letter abbreviation. So here's California, Texas, and New York. Over in column C, I want the name of the country. Well, USA is not listed here. So I'm going to tell Copilot in the prompt box, chat with Copilot. So this isn't new what I'm doing right now, by the way. There's my prompt. It says add a new column, but what is going to be new is when I send this prompt off, I can stop it. So here's send, and here is stop generating. That used to not be there. You used to have to sit there like, oh, that's not the prompt that I wanted. You would have to sit there and wait till a Copilot finishes everything it wanted to do, and you couldn't stop it. So now you can stop your prompts. Also, the icon when Copilot is working, let me just do this again. Let me close. So let me just do this one more time. I'm going to let it run this time. Oops. Copy. All right, this time I am going to let it run. There's that prompt again. The icon for when it is running looks different than it used to. They've got it now in the somewhat similar to the icon for the app you're in. Excel's green, so it's got green right here. And that prompt is running right there. And perfect, something went wrong. So there it goes. Now it's working. And I would hit insert column, and now I've got my USA for 2-letter states. Canada's Canada, Singapore, Singapore, South Africa, on and on. All right, let me, any questions, Christian, real quick? Are we good? Last item to show you, this is another one that I love, is over in PowerPoint. I'm not going to run through this. Here's a PowerPoint presentation I have. Here's the Copilot icon. You could always create a PowerPoint from a Word document using Copilot. That was always around. But what you couldn't do is just, you want to just go and add a new slide. Well, here's add a slide. The prompt box pulls up, and you tell it what you want to add a slide about. So that is a new feature right here, add a slide.
If this AI insight is helpful, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. We drop AI updates daily at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You don't want to miss it. Now let's get back to today's AI updates. AWS is launching an AI Agent Marketplace in partnership with Anthropic, an App Store-style hub for specialized agents handling customer support, analytics, scheduling, and more.
Today, I'm excited to announce AI agents and tools in AWS Marketplace. Already, AWS Marketplace is your trusted source for discovering and deploying AI agent solutions from our expert AWS partner community and the world's leading AI providers. With this launch, you have access to a centralized catalog of AI agents, tools, solutions, and services from popular vendors. So you can benefit from a seamless API-based deployment using MCP and A2A. And deploy these pre-built agents and tools with agent code runtime and gateway. With this launch, AWS Marketplace now includes solutions and expertise from AWS partners like Anthropic, Salesforce, Deloitte, and others across areas like pre-built agents, agent tools including MCP servers, knowledge bases, guardrails, and many more. And professional services to help you develop and implement an AI strategy. And both agent development solutions for building your own agents and software solutions with embedded agentic capabilities. Together, Agent Core and AWS Marketplace enable more than the sum of their parts. Customers can deploy and scale Agent Core native pre-built agents and tools from Marketplace on Agent Core runtime. And with just a few lines of code, you can allow your agents to securely connect to ready-to-integrate solutions from Marketplace with Agent Core Gateway. Now you can test and run AI agent solutions from a range of vendors, then quickly push to production and scale. Now to tell us more about a customer that is building agents on AWS as part of their AI journey, please welcome Ashok Srivastav, Senior Vice President and Chief Data Officer at Intuit.
Thank you, Swami. It's incredible to be here with all of you here in New York City. Since I was a child, I've come to the city so often, and I tell you, every time I come here, it sparks my imagination. And it always makes me feel that anything is possible. So, if anything is possible, the question that we have to answer is, what are we going to build? What are you going to build if you could build anything for your customers? We now have, as a society, some of the most advanced technologies available in history. What should we do together to make the world a better place? That's the question that I'd like you to ponder as we go through this presentation. So at Intuit, we create products that can help power prosperity around the world. It's why I work there. We've got an unprecedented opportunity to create experiences for our customers that help them make better financial decisions. You know, as a former small business owner, I can tell you that every single financial decision that you make is critical to the success of your business. So we take our mission very seriously. I tell you, it's so inspiring to see so many people, thousands of people galvanized on this single mission of powering prosperity around the world. We've declared some bold goals here that we'll achieve by 2030 that enable us to be the best in class and also a high-growth company. We've reinvented ourselves so many times over the last 40 years. So back in the 1980s, Scott Cook, our founder, started this company at literally the kitchen table at his home, where he was watching his wife balance the checkbook. And he thought to himself, is there something that we could do to actually make this a better experience? That was the question. And that was the foundation, the founding of Intuit. We have reinvented ourselves so many times over the last 4 decades. The era of DOS, Windows, the web, cloud, and now in 2019, the era of artificial intelligence at Intuit. We created GenOS, the generative AI operating system that now thousands of developers around Intuit use to build agents at scale. 2 weeks ago, we formally launched our agent experiences, and I'm going to show you that in a few moments. And you'll get a glimpse of the power of this technology in the hands of real customers. So I'd like to give you an idea of the scale of our AI and data systems. Back when we started this journey, we had a small, nascent team of AI scientists and developers, and we started to make the investments to build a powerful AI platform, a powerful, high-throughput data platform that could really generate clean data at scale for our developers. It was an incredibly exciting time. And today, we have AI and data systems that are generating 60 billion machine learning predictions per day. We have this based on 95 petabytes of data and with over 500,000 attributes per customer. So that gives you an idea of the scale of the systems that we're building and operating today. And we have over 1,000 AI patents in this space. So these platform advancements were built on AWS, and I want to say the partnership with AWS has been absolutely fantastic. The AWS team and their technologies have been such an instrumental and important part of our journey. I just want to take a moment and thank them for the amazing partnership that we've had over the last many years, and also for what's to come, because what's to come is so incredibly exciting. So this is a high-level architecture of how we run on AWS. So you'll see at the bottom layer, we have the foundational technologies from AWS. This is SageMaker, Bedrock, Aurora, MSK. These are the foundational capabilities on which we built a lot of our own capabilities. Our data capabilities, such as stream processing, batch processing, the data lake, an event bus, vector database, all of these things are built on top of AWS. And this is where GenOS comes in. GenOS allows us to do orchestration with tools, enables context and memory, observability, and it has Gen Runtime, which has guardrails built in so that those LLMs do the right thing. And you'll notice at the right-hand side of the screen, we have human experts, because we understand that artificial intelligence is amazing, but we also know that human intelligence is unparalleled. And when you bring these two things together, magic happens. And that's what I'm so excited about to talk with you today. So let's look a little bit more at GenOS. GenOS powers our agentic experiences, and it has 4 key components. There's the large language models, and this is what does the conversational capabilities, the reasoning capabilities. Gen Studio, which is the interface between our engineers and those large language models. Then we have Gen Runtime, which we created way back in 2023, knowing that agents were on the horizon. And Gen Runtime does the following. It actually does orchestration with tools, and it turns out to be the brains of the AI system of these agents. Fantastic capability. And so how do we interact with the customers directly? That happens through GenUX. This is part of the operating system that provides the user interface for our agentic experiences. So let's go back to that question that I originally posed at the beginning of this talk. Given all of these amazing tools and technologies, how are we going to choose the problems to work on? We decide based on deep research with our customers. We interview them through a process we call Follow Me Homes, where we literally go to our customers and we watch how they're using our software, how they're using the other tools that they have in their own context. But we also have a tremendous amount of data, and that data is used by our analytics teams to really understand at scale how people are using our products. And so we define customer problems. We know that customers want to get more customers of their own. They want to grow and manage them. They want to get paid, and they want to pay their bills fast, and they want to get access to capital. But you know what? The most important thing that they want is work done for them. They want done-for-you experiences, and that's exactly what our agents provide. So I'm now going to take you through how our agentic technologies help power prosperities for our customers. You're going to see 4 agents, and they're going to be working together simultaneously to help a small business owner. The customer agent to get customers, the finance agent to improve their cash flow, the payments agent to get paid, and the accounting agent to do their books. So it's the ingenuity of thousands of developers combined with AI and data that create these agents. And I have to say, it's a privilege to be here representing all of them. So here we have a small business owner. The customer and the agent enables her to select a hot lead to get started on an estimate, automatically generates the estimate, the customer signs the contract. The finance agent flags the cash flow is down to 13%, suggests she apply for a line of credit. She agrees, bringing her cash flow up to 20%. The payments agent automatically drafts an invoice. We know that customers are getting paid 5 days faster on average, and an overdue invoice is 10% more likely to be paid in full. And then the accounting agent automatically categorizes transactions, and all of this is built on GenOS. So this is the incredible excitement that we have with the agents. I'd like to take you through a little bit more about how to think about what to build. So to deliver real value for customers, build with a purpose. Don't get enamored with the technology. Use AI only where it's necessary. If rules do, use rules. If you need AI, use AI. Measure your ROI, your return on investment, so you know if you're making progress, and empower small teams to move fast. We've found that building paved paths with AWS has accelerated our journey. So fundamentally, we must all build what our customers need, and together we can make the world a better place for everyone.
And finally, NVIDIA's FourCastNet 3 spits out a 15-day global forecast in just 64 seconds, helping meteorologists and emergency teams stay ahead of severe weather.
Hi, I'm Mike Pritchard. I'm the Director of Climate Simulation Research at NVIDIA and an academic climate scientist by training. So we're here to talk about NVIDIA's latest AI weather model called FourCastNet 3. So FourCastNet 3 is the latest in a chain of technologies that NVIDIA has been creating to try to simulate the entire atmosphere's evolution, not with physics equations, the way it used to be done, but with artificial intelligence. AI changes the game in so many ways: how we estimate the state of the atmosphere, how we launch forecasts from that state, how we sidestep physics to make better forecasts, how we build climate simulations we couldn't dream of before. And FourCastNet 3 is so exciting because it takes this special geometric approach to the atmosphere, this deeply probabilistic approach, and exploits 1,000 GPUs to train an ambitious model that has really interesting skills. It used to be that getting weather forecasts was like going to the Oracle. It took a legion of people in a huge government center to produce a physics-based forecast, and then you have to go dig through the output to find what you're interested in. But now AI weather models are democratizing the whole enterprise. Maybe soon we'll be launching forecasts on demand and talking to our weather simulations the same way you could talk to your self-driving car. But it's very exciting. It feels like we're allowed to dream of things that seemed unreasonable to dream about a few years ago. I think we're just scratching the surface of what AI can do for this field.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to toggle that bell so you don't miss our next useful AI hacks, AI industry update at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.